Hey everybody, it's Kneecap here, and in this video I have the Frost Mage Tower kill. This is not meant to be a guide or anything, don't get it twisted, but I am going to do a little intro here just with talents and stuff like that, just because I know people will comment asking that stuff, and I totally actually understand that as well. So while this is not meant to be a guide, I'm no mage master or anything like that. This is with a fresh 60, like literally fresh. I bought some Corthian stuff on my main, but it's a fresh 60. I got a lot of practice at 52, thinking I could do it at low level. That was not the case. If you're trying to do this or any of the mage towers without digging 60, I do advise you at least hit max level first. Even just a few seconds more on icy veins that you get while leveling makes quite a bit of difference. So let me go ahead and go through the talents, a couple little tips, and then it'll just be the video after that. So we'll start off first with the talents, and I'll throw an image up for this. But we're going to take Bone Chilling in row 1. I thought about doing Lonely Winter. I did a couple polls with it. You just really need your elementals freeze ability to root them in place sometimes. You'll just really need that. I advise you to hotkey that, obviously, if you don't have it hotkeyed already. You'll also need to hotkey the Move To button for your Frost Elemental. That's the other reason why you really want to use it, is in the last phase. So you're going to go Bone Chilling there. Shimmer, just so you have the blink there. Rune of Power is just going to do a slightly more damage than Incanter's Flow, although of course you do have to stay in it. If you find yourself coming close to killing it but not ever being in your Rune of Power, then the Incanter's Flow will give you more damage if you're literally just never in your Rune of Power. Next you'll go with Chain Reaction for Ice Lances. Then we're going to go Frigid Winds, Freezing Rain, and Thermal Void all on the left side. So you can kind of see them highlighted, I'm sure, in the image. But that's Bone Chilling, Shimmer, Rune of Power, Chain Reaction, Frigid Winds, Freezing Rain, Thermal Void. When it comes to stats, like I said, I am just a fresh Ding 60 with random stats on my gear from Corthia stuff. Literally level 175 item level. It's not the worst in the world. But yeah, pretty fresh, pretty new character. I do advise you, even if your gear's crappy like my character's was, enchant everything that can be enchanted. So that's going to be like your back, weapon, and rings and wrists, I believe. So you can do the cheaper enchants if you want. Like I just did like the plus 10 stuff, or the plus 12 on rings, plus 10 to wrist. I did do the minor speed increase on cloak with the stamina, and then I did celestial guidance to weapon. I do advise you doing that. I do advise you buying flask, and I do advise you getting some sort of food. I just used versatility food. It was like the cheapest one to buy. I just used versatility food. Obviously, you're going to use your time warp and stuff, so you already have that. You don't need drums. And then just a few little tips real quick before we just go into the video. You're going to, after you get the guy who walks at you, the non-caster guy, the non-caster twin, once you phase him the first time, you really want to do a huge burn right there. So that's where you want to use time warp, icy veins, everything. You want to use everything you can on him, and you're really looking to get him to about 60% or lower. Even with bad gear, that's possible. I even got him in the 50% multiple times with really bad gear. If he's above 70, it's going to be really hard to finish the fight at that point, because especially if you use your time warp for that, you're really looking for 60, low 60s or under at this point. And at that point, at any point, you can have the kill, I would say. Obviously, you control everything with Blizzard. You're going to Frost Nova when you absolutely need to. You're going to freeze with your Elemental when you absolutely need to. And then otherwise, you're controlling everything with Frozen Orb and Blizzard. Make sure your Blizzard is hitting the caster guy whenever he's active as much as possible. So that way you're getting that extra damage on him. It does matter a lot. Frozen Orb hitting him can matter a lot as well. I would save mirror images to when you're in a really tough bind. And always also, just another little thing, always keep up your ice barrier as well, because the Shadow Bolt will do a lot of damage if you're not paying attention to that. I am a Colterian, so I also had Haymaker to punch the guy back if I had to, which was a nice little form of CC I could use on him. And he is Sheepable, but it doesn't really do much, so I don't really advise worrying about that too much. And also remember that Cone of Cold is your friend. At some point, you might be like, okay, I don't have Ice Nova, I don't have Freeze, I have nothing instant cast, and this guy is trucking at me at 100% speed. Remember that you do have Cone of Cold, and that could be your savior. So, like I said, Deep Burn, I guess phase 2, after you do the first round of kiting, you do the second round of kiting, and then you just burn them the rest of the way after that. You'll want to do as much of a burn as you can. So I said low 60s. You want to get under 50 if you can on that second little burn phase, and then at that point you're just kiting in circles from 50 to 0 essentially, or wherever you can get them. Also, I didn't mention use a potion as well during your burn, so I just use the spectral potion of intellect. If the other potions are cheaper, you can use them. At one point they were, but the Shadowlands potions were the cheapest ones, so I just use those. It's definitely possible. This only took me 10 pulls at level 60. Like I said, I put a ton of pulls in at lower level though, which was a huge mistake. So enjoy the video. It's just gonna be the video with some light music played with it. As always, if you guys please subscribe to the channel. It helps me out so much. And other than that, everybody have a good one.